Welcome to the Instructor How-To video series. This focuses on saving your outcome data with a Fall 2020 update. We collect data from the assignments that are required for the department to assess our outcomes. We also collect overall grade information. But there are a couple of things that you want to set up before you actually start saving your data. First of all, when you begin this process, please do so using Google Chrome. You're going to need to make a couple of adjustments, which is why we ask you to use Chrome. Another thing that you'll want to do is set up a folder somewhere where you're going to have your files saved to automatically. So whether you choose to do that on your desktop, in the My Documents, whatever you want to do, just create a folder somewhere where everything is all in one place and you can organize it and find it better. So here we are in Google Chrome, and I'm in this particular class. So what I want to do first is up here on the three dots, I want to go to Zoom and I want to put it at 80%. The reason I want to put it at 80% is we want to make the screen a little bit smaller for some of the pages that we're going to need to save. So make sure that you have that setting in there first. So let's talk about grades first. When you choose grades from your navigation bar, you will get to your grades page depending on how you have your default settings set up. It will either be on Manage Grades or it'll be on Enter Grades. You want to make sure that you are on the Enter Grades option, not Manage. So once you choose Enter Grades, then you want to choose Export Grades from the options below. What that will then do is give you a window where you have to make some selections. Make sure that you have both the points grades and the grade scheme chosen. And then from below, here you will see that there's certain ones highlighted. Now yours probably will have all of them checked off. What you want to do is uncheck any of the ones that do not have DO after them. DO stands for departmental outcome. So these are the required department assignments that we do the rubrics for. And these are the ones we collect data for. We're not interested in any of your other grades, your attendance grades, if you have additional assignments if you teach on campus, or even for the online classes where we do have the discussions as mandatory assignments. We're only looking at the ones specifically that have DO afterwards. Once you've selected those, then you want to choose the option for export to Excel, not to CSV, but to export to Excel. It'll take a minute to process as it's pulling the grades. Now my example I'm using right now, I'm in a current class, so I don't have a full amount of data. You should. So yours will look slightly different than mine. So you want to choose download, and again what this is going to do is it's going to save data. It's going to open up the Excel worksheet so that you can save the data to that folder that you chose. So again, yours would be full of information here. I'm not done with this semester yet, so I don't have all of the data. So I'm going to go right here to File, and I'm going to choose Save As. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Browse. Now, I have a folder set up I created in the My Documents area, and I called it Chrissy's Data Fall 2020. So I'm going to go ahead and open that folder. But before I actually save anything, look at this big long title. We don't need all of that. All we need is your last name. So Leonard Grades, whoops. We don't need managing your success because we know what class it is, but we do need the section number, so leave that there, and you can take off grade report. So take everything up until that period with the XLX there, okay? So Leonard Grades 51ZF. That way it makes that file very identifiable, easy to find when they're doing the data collection. So go ahead and hit save. And now that is done. That's all you have to do for grades. Nice and simple. When you close that spreadsheet, you can then hit the close on the dialog box, and then you can hit cancel on the grades page, and that means you've done everything that you need to do now for the grades portion of your data collection. Now we need to get to the rubrics. So as we go to the rubric side of things, let me give you a little bit of explanation. You are going to need to have 2 files for each assignment. You're going to have an overall rubric and a criteria rubric. So let's go to the rubrics so I can show you how to save it. Under Course Admin, you're going to find the rubrics option. If it's alphabetical order or category, I have it in alphabetical order, so we'll just go right here to rubrics. And what you'll see is a big long list of rubrics. Now, we don't use all of these rubrics. A couple of them are shared and a couple of them are for other assignments, but that's okay. You're only going to use the ones where you graded the departmental outcome assignment with a rubric. So that will be diversity, that will be the personal strengths, that will be program and career, progress check, technology skills, and what have I learned. Did I say financial literacy and wellness? We need that one too. So I'm going to use the what have I learned as an example because this is how you might have to adjust your screen a little bit to make sure all the data is captured. So if you click on the actual rubric itself, what it's going to do is come up for the edit. You don't want to do that. And I did that on purpose because I've had people ask questions about that in the past. You actually want to use this little down arrow. And with that down arrow, sorry, my mouse is a little sensitive here, you want to use the option for View Statistics. When you go to View Statistics, you'll see it looks like a blank screen, but it's actually not. You have to choose Program Outcome Activities, and then under that, you're going to choose Actions. Now this is where you're going to have the choice to do the overall or the criteria statistics. So get yourself into a rhythm and do each one the same. I find that's easier and you end up not forgetting what you've done, what you haven't done, what you've saved, what you haven't saved. So open up a rubric, do the overall first. Now you're not going to do anything on this page here, but this is why we told you to use Google. Go up here in the corner where there's the 3 dots and choose Print. Under Print, you're going to choose the option here for Save as PDF. Now for the overall, there's not much. It's either met or not met. Nice and simple. So you don't have to do anything else with those settings. So as long as it's saving to a PDF, you want to hit Save, and it should pop up with a dialog box, again asking where do you want to save this stuff. Well, it's automatically coming up into my folder. If it's not, just find your folder in your list wherever you have it. But again, it has a big long title and we don't need all of that information there. But we do need to make sure that the information is specific so we know which file this is. This was the overall rubric statistics. So we want to have my last name again, and we want to have overall rubric statistics. It has the name of the assignment, what have I learned. We can take off the managing your success because we know what class it is. But again, you want to keep the section number there. But you can delete the college's name because we don't need that. So again, your last name and overall when you're saving overall. Assignment name and the section number. So go ahead and hit save and it'll save that PDF. Nice and simple. Next, you want to save the criteria statistics. And again, the reason that I chose what have I learned is this one has a lot of criteria statistics. Remember when you're grading it, you had to click on all those different boxes for all the different criteria. So what are we going to do now? We do the same thing. You just go right up here, click on the 3 dots, you choose Print and the Save as PDF. Now here's the trick. What I want you to do before you do anything else is I want you to scroll down and see if everything fits. Depending on how you have your settings, over here where it says More Settings, I want to show you the difference. Let's just say I had it set at 70. Do you see now here on the technology side of things, you only see the satisfactory, but you don't see the needs improvement. You just go satisfactory to unsatisfactory. That's missing data. We can't use that file. So you might have to go in, and again, it was here under more settings. You might have to play around with this size a little bit. So I just changed it to 75 and it's re-rendering it, and all of a sudden now you can see all three. It's okay if it's cut off on the page like that, but as long as it has all three, that's fine. So just realize that you might have to play with the scale a little bit in order for it to be a usable file. Otherwise, we're going to have to get back in touch with you and let you know that you have to resubmit and resave. So I'll just go ahead and hit save. Again, it's very important before you just save the file to change the name. So go into this big long title and you're going to put in your last name. Now this one was criteria statistics. Same assignment, but different rubric, different part of the rubric. And we'll eliminate the college's name there. So now we have just what we need in the title. And we hit save. And that's really all there is to it, to saving your data. Now the thing is, you have 7 assignments that you need to do that for. So just realize that you will have 14 files of rubrics. Again, you'll have overall and criteria for diversity, for financial literacy and wellness, personal strengths, program and career, progress check, technology skills, and what have I learned. Then you will also have your grades spreadsheet. All of those files are then going to get emailed to Ted Sofianos, who is our new data liaison. When you have all of your files saved for one section, then what you want to do is send an email, a unique email for each section to Ted. So if you're teaching 5 sections, he should be getting 5 emails. If you're teaching 1 section, he should get 1 email. And what you want to do is name in the subject data for the semester, data for fall 2020, and include the section number. It makes it much easier in case we do have to troubleshoot, get back in touch with you about a bad file, something like that, that we have that label on that email. And you can either choose the attach option, or if you have your folder open, you can just drag everything from that one section in here. And as you'll notice, there's ones that say criteria here, but if I scroll down a little further, there's ones that say overall, and then there's a grades one as well. So there should be 15 attachments on your email. And that's really all you should have to do, is put that subject information and attach those files. And again, 1 unique email for each section that you teach. You'll follow the same process at the end of every semester. So if you just finished, for example, Fall A, then you should do your data for Fall A and get that email to Ted. If you just finished Fall B or a full semester or a 10-week semester, then you want to do that data and get that to Ted. If you can break it up instead of waiting until the end of the semester for Fall A, Fall B, 10-week, and full semester, that way Ted can go in and troubleshoot if there's any questions about any of the ones you submit for an earlier semester. Again, you'll do this every semester, Fall A, Fall B, 10-week, full semester, same thing for spring. We do not collect summer data. That's when we tend to pilot other things, so we don't actually collect data that we review for anything else, just fall and spring. Hopefully this has made sense to you. If you have any questions or concerns, please just get in touch with Ted. You can always ask me questions as well, but he is our new data person, so please try to get with him on any questions or concerns that you might have.